Would you go onto your platform and tell your entire audience to like eat a tube of ivermectin because it would be good for you? Like, would you
No.
do
Would
that?
you go on your audience
No.
and would you go on your audience and tell them to intentionally lie to law enforcement, get arrested, and take up arms against the government? Would you do that?
So I would definitely tell them to have a civic moral duty.
Because that's what you did. That's what you just did. You're saying that the incredible tyrannical abuses of the Trump administration violating your 14th, your 1st, your 2nd, and your 4th amendments, that's worse than taxes, right?
Sure, but
why, so if
like,
taxes were reason for revolution,
like, you're not okay with this? Like, it's weird to me that you're okay with rights being violated. I don't understand.
You set the premise. You set the premise. What you're doing is you ignore.
Okay with it?
Were you okay with the violation of me being locked down? Were you okay with the Patriot Act? Were you okay with Obama's deportations? Were you okay with those violations? Right. What I'm saying is, yes, there are all sorts of things that our government does all the time that I'm not okay with. I have never once suggested that therefore we should pick up arms and shoot at agents of the government.
So you are not okay. So you are okay with Donald Trump going on live TV and saying that you no longer have First Amendment rights. You're okay with him saying that.
Where did he say that? Where did he say you no longer have First Amendment rights? Can you quote that?
He was specifically talking about the flag burning.
And the quote is, you no longer have First Amendment rights. Go ahead.
He said, he said, Trump, let's see.
Now, this quote's going to say, Trump says, you no longer have First Amendment rights. Okay, let's find the quote.
Have first. So he was specifically talking about the...
you don't have to... All we need is the words.
He said, we took freedom of speech away. That's what he said.
Okay, so he said, we took freedom of speech away.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see the context then.
So he was referring to the flag burning executive order that he did, which, by the way, is a violation of free speech. So he specifically said, we're taking free speech away when he signed that executive order. He also made multiple references to free speech being removed.
Okay, so what he's clearly saying here is that they say that it's illegal to incite riots, that's not covered by the free speech, and he is arguing that flag burning constitutes that. Something that I disagree with him. It's not being tyrannical, though, especially any more than what the Biden administration was doing, pushing for the removal of disinformation. You should roll your eyes, but why were you okay with the tyrannical Biden? One of us is claiming for armed revolution against the government, the other isn't. You're claiming that you are a principled person, which is why you're calling for this dire action. But when I show you violation of rights previously, you're like, well, I didn't care about that. I was fine with those.
You're talking about so what you're talking about is you're talking about caveats and different
That's what Trump's argument is here.
No.
Yes, his argument is there's a caveat.
So
his argument is we see violent lefties.
It's not the same thing.
We see what Trump's saying is there's a caveat because although you have free speech, you don't have the right to. Do you have the right to incite violence?
You just said that you disagreed with him.
That might be so, but I'm saying that I disagree.
You said that you disagreed with him.
I disagree with the caveat.
We're already on the same page.
No, we're not on the same page. He's arguing for a caveat. He's not saying you no longer are entitled to any free speech. He's saying there are reasonable limitations we can put on free speech. You agree?
And flag burning is not one of them.
I'm asking you if you agree that there are reasonable limitations that we can put in free speech.
Yes, that's always
okay. And you're saying when the Biden administration wanted to censor people online,
that's not the same thing at all.
That's a reason
they weren't necessarily censored. What happens is what they did is they just put subtext to the things people said.
No, that's not true. They were pressuring. Yes, they were pressuring social media companies to remove these posts, both through official government agencies.
Social media both through no.
So what? The courts could say no, Trump. You can't make this flag burning law.
Social media and courts aren't the same thing. So
has the courts told Trump that he can't do this?
The social media could
have said no, and they didn't. Has the courts told Trump that he can't do this? Have the courts told Trump that he can't do this?
The courts and social media are not the same thing. They're not in the same. I don't know why you're trying to make this point. This point is absolutely retarded. Have the courts told Trump that he can't do this? This is an absolutely retarded point.
Have the courts told Trump that he can't do this?
That he can't what? Make flag burning illegal?
That he can't do this flag burning law?
It's not a law. It's an executive order.
Have the courts told him he can't do
He
it?
can do any executive order that he wants.
Have the courts told him that that's not enforceable because it's not constitutional?
Yeah, because it says in
How many people have been
order,
arrested? How many people have been arrested under this?
one, I believe. I think that the guy who burned the flag in the park was, but I think he was released. He was a
So he wasn't. He ended up. The case was dropped.
But so I don't know why you're bringing this up again. Social media,
because
social media companies and courts are not the same thing. So what
of course, no two things are the same. I could say court one's not the same as court two. What I'm saying is, here's the correlation. If your argument is it's okay for the governments to do this because the courts didn't rule against them, so they're allowed to pressure social media, that's absurd. Similarly, I could say fine. It's fine for the Trump administration or any administration to say we're suggesting.
I said that.
Let me finish. We're suggesting. You asked what was going on. I'm explaining. So for a president or legislator, for that matter, to say, here's a law we're thinking about, and then for us to say, we don't like that law, and courts say, no, you can't do that law, and then the law not to go into effect, that's not tyrannical. Even if I don't like the specific law. And I disagree with you that the government pressuring people to censor my speech is somehow protected under the First Amendment. I fucking disagree. And I think the reason you're okay with it, is because it was Democrats. I think if Trump pressured to censor you and the streamers you like, you would say, this is against my First Amendment rights. That's what you would say.
He is, though, because he is, though, because remember when they went ahead and said that now X is a free speech platform, that shit's not true.
Okay. What does that have to do?
That shit's not true at all. So
What?
X is not a free speech platform.
Okay. And that has to do with fuck all because?
We were talking about social media.
So Trump said X is a free media platform, but because Elon, in your estimation, isn't a free media platform, that proves that the Trump administration's pressuring social media to censor you.
They are pressuring social media to censor. Like it's very
Show
obvious.
Me the proof.
But I don't really care.
Show me the proof.
It's social media.
Show me the proof.
I never made a claim.
You just said they're doing this. Now I'm asking you to show me the proof.
I said they probably are, and I don't care because
you didn't say
social
probably.
media.
You said they are. So now you have no proof.
Probably.
You're just making. I think if Trump pressured to censor you and the streamers you like, you would say this is against my First Amendment rights. That's what you would say.
He is though, because he is though.
Now,
no, I said probably. I said probably.
So I want you to explain to me where in the Constitution did this apply that some forms of speech, like the method. So is the telegraph, is that allowed? Is that free speech? How about a post? If I send a letter, are they allowed to censor that?
We do know what caveats are allowed within free speech because under oath, you are not allowed to lie. So
what does that have anything to do? It seems to be that the purpose of the First Amendment is like government shouldn't regulate your ability to free speak. So, for example, you would say, if I'm in the public square on a public park and I say, I think that it's a terrible genocide that's happening in Palestine, I should be allowed to say that. And if the government says no, that's a violation of my First Amendment, correct?
I guess.
But if I go on social media and say the same thing and the government says no, that's no longer a violation of my First Amendment.
But the thing is, though, is that
can you explain that before you move on to your next point?
Yeah, I'm explaining it. So on social media, if they are pressured to do that, they don't have to say yes.
That's absurd.
What do you mean that's absurd? They
because
don't have
that's still
to say
the government.
Yes.
The government. But you could say that about any. So you're saying that you're absolutely fine if the government, for example, would pressure a government that's not them. For example, if they pressure my local city to say, we want you to fucking arrest anyone that talks shit in the Trump administration, we would really like it. You'd say perfectly fine for Trump's team to do that. It's not a violation of the First Amendment because the local police could say, no, we don't want to do that. Oh, well, pressuring's no problem then. And
he does do that. What do you mean? What do you think a sanctuary city is, brother? Like under ice. That's what a sanctuary city is. It's when a city... It's when the local government says no to the government, like to the federal government.
I said something specific. I'm happy to talk about sanctuary city. I said something specific. I said we were talking about the idea of the First Amendment, right? And you're like, if the government just pressures to censor your speech, that doesn't count as violating your First Amendment because the group being pressured could say no. I said, fine. Then if the government pressures local police to arrest you for your speech, you say that's not a violation of the First Amendment because that's just pressure. The police could have said no.
Yeah, and they say no. What are you talking about?
So then there is
What
no
you're
violation
saying-
of Trump.
What
So
you're
then
saying is what you're saying doesn't make any sense because the First Amendment is protected like by the federal government. What does that have to do with what you said?
your argument
Like, we're
is
talking
if the
about social
federal
media.
government pressures an institution to censor
The
someone's speech.
police is not an institution. That's
Sure
a
it is.
law. It's law.
It's separate.
Like, what are you talking about?
It's separate from the federal government.
Yes, it's
Okay.
separate from it's still law. It's still government. It's still local government. There's still statutes under local government that protect
Right?
the freedom
Yeah.
of speech.
And
So we're talking about social
I want
media.
you to
So
show
if
me.
you wouldn't
I want you to
mind,
show me any
if you
case
wouldn't
law.
mind keeping it to social media,
No,
where
because you're
we
making
know-
you're making a distinction that doesn't have a
I'm
merit.
not making.
Yes, you're saying
the
you're saying
distinction is
it's
social
okay for
media.
the government to say, "Hey, listen, social media, we're going to fuck you up if you don't censor Allie." And you're like, "That's perfectly fine," because they could say, "Well, we're not going to censor." And even if they do censor, which is what happened with the Twitter files, you'll say, "Well, that's okay. They could have said no." So that's not a violation of the First Amendment. That's absurd.
It's not a violation because they can say no. They're allowed to.
Did they say no?
Nope.
They said yes.
It's actually to some degree that they said yes, because in a lot of cases they were just given like explanations, or like they what is it, like when on Twitter, community notes, that's it. They were given community notes.
It wasn't just community notes. There were entire things that they recommended taking down from multiple levels of the government.
Right. And they were pressured to do so. That doesn't mean they have to do it.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And you understand that like it was for their own benefit to do so, because like it was considered.
It does not matter. It does.
You don't think they would be held legally liable if somebody went on there and told all of their like? Would you go onto your platform and tell your entire audience to like eat a tube of ivermectin because it would be good for you? Like, would you do that?
Would you go on your audience and would you go on your audience and tell them to intentionally lie to law enforcement, get arrested, and take up arms against the government? Would you do that?
So I would definitely tell them to have a civic moral duty.
Because that's what you did. That's what you just did. So, but by your own rationale, is that good for you two? To have people like you and Wick doing that? Is that good for them?
Yes.
It is good for them. It is good.
It is absolutely a good thing for people like me and people like Wick to tell people like you and people like their audience that being proactive against the government when they're violating your rights and violating
taking
the
up
rights
arms
of
against
people,
them, by taking up arms against them,
by doing your
by
civic
taking
duty,
up arms against
by
them,
doing your
don't
civic
bury the
duty
lead.
as
Don't bury the lead. Don't bury the lead by taking up arms against them. That's what you said.
If they're being
don't bury the lead.
Government,
say yes. I did say that. I said to take up arms against them.
You know what I said, and you're just
yeah. That's what you said.
You're like you're a smarmy little liar, brother.
No, I'm not.
You
How
are.
am I lying? You said
you're absolutely trying to twist.
You want to go through it again? So people, we'll clip it.
We'll
clip it side by side. Number one, should we take up arms against a tyrannical government?
Yes.
Is the Trump administration a tyrannical government?
Perhaps. And yet you might be, but in this instance, what I'm saying is it is important. It is important for us to
tell people to take up arms against the government. Yeah.
It is important to tell them to do your civic duty and have moral obligation. You
do not have a moral obligation. You do not have it. Let me be clear to the audience. Don't listen to this psychopath and people like them. These are people with Trump derangement syndrome that want martyrs. They want more Alex Prettys. They want to inspire people to do things they themselves won't do, which is to go on the street and get killed. And so they're telling people to go out there and take up guns. You're going to ruin your fucking life. You do not have the moral right to do this, and it is not strategic for you to do so. This chick and people like Wick are not going to give a fuck. In fact, they will celebrate when you are killed because they're fucking lunatics, and they ought to be ashamed to have the balls to be so stupid as you can see with this woman, that's fine. We're all stupid on different things. But to be this stupid and this confident to come on here and wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you should take up guns and fight against the Trump administration is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard.
But
yes, that is exactly. In fact, you went so far as to say,
exactly what
clearly that's what you said. Well, I can't say it because I'd get in trouble, which is your way of saying, of course, that's what I'm saying. I just can't literally say it.
It's just my way of saying, okay, in my secret little
Is it a
language.
tyrannical government, or is Trump administration tyrannical?
We've been through this, and you're
right.
You're just
we have been through it.
Right
We
now.
saw what you said. Everyone who's watching can
yeah,
see.
and you just like you have absolutely no leg to stand on. You are like absolutely bootlicking. You're absolutely bootlicking for the government right now.
No. It is not bootlicking. It is not bootlicking to disagree. It is not bootlicking. It is not bootlicking to disagree with the government or with your interpretation of what the government's doing. And it's not bootlicking to tell people you should not pick up weapons and fight the federal government. That is not bootlicking. You trust the government right now, 100%. You trust the government 100% right now. Did you trust the government 100% against Biden?
No.
Okay, what's the relevance of the question?
So you don't right now trust the government 100%. You know that they're lying to you. You know that they're doing things that are illegal.
Did you know the Biden administration was lying to you? Did you know the Biden administration? Did you know the Biden administration? Did you know the Biden administration? My answer is the same as your answer to the Biden administration.
Why? Because what's happening now is far exceeding what the Biden administration did. Anything that the Biden administration did.
In your opinion, I disagree. In your opinion, I disagree. And what I'm saying is, you try to do this thing where you're like, oh, well, if you're a bootlicker, if you don't say we should shoot at the federal government, and I'll prove it. That means you 100% trust the government? No, I didn't suggest that. Did you 100% trust government? You're like, no. I'm like, okay, then what's the relevance? Well, you're okay with all these violations of rights. No, I disagree with your interpretation. And I don't think any of it remotely rises to the level of suggesting we should shoot at law enforcement.
Again, I didn't say that, but
yes, you did. You heavily implied it and said that you would say it.
Apparently heavily implying is saying something now. Okay.
Right, because you're too much of a pussy to say it. Now, I only say that you're too much of a pussy to say it because that's what you accused me of being for being against the idea.
No, I called you a pussy because now you're sitting here in boldface of the government protecting people like Donald Trump, who are liars, who are villainous.
Joe Biden's a liar. Obama's a liar. Hillary Clinton's a liar. They're all grifters too.
No, they're not grifters like Donald Trump is. You know that Donald Trump. You have
Trump derangement syndrome. I get it.
Trump is a disgusting grifter.
Hillary's a disgusting grifter. The Hillary Foundation was fucking grotesque. The Biden administration, they're taking his son, taking money from the spy chief of China. Nope, I never suggested using lethal violence against them, ever.
Why can't you admit that the Trump administration that Trump himself is a fucking grifter? I don't know why you're standing 10 toes down.
Your interpretation of what a grifter is
irrelevant
irrelevant to me.
That he's a grifter?
It is irrelevant to the point. Do you think Biden's a grifter?
No.
Okay, I don't think Trump's a grifter.
You don't think Trump is a grifter?
Nope.
Okay, he definitely
If someone's a grifter, do we have the right to use bare arms against them?
No.
Okay, so what's the relevance of this?
Because I'm trying
my criticism
to
is
get
you. My criticism is you implying that we should shoot at the federal government, and your defense is, but can't you say Trump's a grifter? If that's not a reason why we should be taking up arms against the government, what's the relevancy?
The relevance here is that I'm trying to get you to understand that the fact that you're like standing 10 toes down for an administration that is actively trying to grift you, lie to you daily. Like, I can't believe that you're sitting here allowing the federal government every single day to lie to your damn face. And you're just sitting here
that's what the federal government
lapping it up like a happy little slut.
The federal government told you that Joe Biden had no cognitive issues, and you lapped it up like a happy little slut.